So as we talk about custody, support, and divorce, the main areas where we see a lot of agreements arise, there's frequently a question of when do we need to come back to this? When do we need to revisit it? Under what circumstances? And what are the potential penalties? So again, I'm going to look at this from the custody side, the support side, and the divorce side. On a divorce, you're generally looking at an agreement in terms of a prenup or a postnup. The fun thing, or not fun thing, depending on which side you're looking at, with regard to these agreements is, unless both sides are going to be willing to agree to modify something that is already written in a divorce agreement, be it a prenup or a postnup, there's no changing it. Now that doesn't mean that I don't explore with clients the renegotiation of those things, and that can arise under certain circumstances of life changes during the course of a marriage. Just by way of an example, if two parties enter into a prenuptial agreement and they went into it with the idea of, okay, I'm going to keep everything that's mine, that I generate from now until time, life, or the duration of the marriage, and likewise the same thing for the other spouse. They're going to retain all of their things, and they didn't account for the fact of there may be children that come into this marital relationship, into this family, and then you've got to think about, okay, well, if that's the case, granted there are other aspects to this. There's an estate planning branch that could probably take care of certain things, and generally in that type of prenup there are all sorts of other things that can be underpinning the document itself. But let's just say, for the sake of discussion, that there is none of that. And that, I think, under those limited scope of circumstances, both parties would likely be looking at that and saying, yeah, okay, in the event that something happens to one or the other of us, we need to make sure, is this still the way that we want these things to occur?